One of the things you mentioned at first when you're contacting somebody or when you're working with them is that ability to get rapport, right? Natural-born salespeople are fantastic at getting rapport. Phenomenal at it. And there's some really fascinating, cool techniques to get rapport. One of the ones that you talked about was matching and mirroring. Okay? And you've probably never heard of that before. Have you? Okay? Matching and mirroring is really simple. Okay? It's, for example, one of the things you can do when you talk to somebody on the phone is you can match their tonality. You can match the rhythm, the rate, the tempo that they're speaking. Let me give you an example of that. I teach the same kind of techniques to insurance agents. And one of the times we were working with an insurance company, and with this particular insurance company, I was actually working with not the agents themselves, but the people answering the phones. And one of the things that was happening is the people answering the phones, whether it was the secretaries or whether it was the people at the call centers that were handling the claims, were having a problem with people as far as getting rapport. Here's why. When people are calling an insurance company like that because they're having a problem, they call on the phone and they're all upset. And they're talking like, ooh, I've really got this problem and you don't understand and nobody's been able to help me, right? That's how they sound. So what happens when they're all upset, or you call somebody and you're all upset? Imagine, you're all upset. You've gotten the wrong bill 3 months in a row and you've talked to 3 different people. And you call and they say, oh, that's okay.
Then you get more upset.
Exactly. You get more upset, don't you? Why do you get more upset?
Because it's not okay.
Exactly. And you understand when they're saying it's okay and they're talking to you in this really nice voice, you understand, or you feel anyway, they don't get it.
Or they're just shining you on. Yeah. You can't wait to get you off the phone.
Exactly.
You don't feel you're going to get anywhere with them because they've already given you that feeling that...
Yeah, you just have a feeling.
Just another phone call.
Exactly. But what happens when you get on the phone with them and they say hello in their nice voice, and then you start ranting and they start going, oh my gosh, that's horrible. I wouldn't put up for that either. And you start answering them, and if that person started giving you the same tonality, the same tone of voice back, what would you then think? Ooh, they get it.
Get it, yeah. I use that one a lot with clients that are upset about things. It works perfect.
It works perfect, doesn't it? That's matching somebody. Give you a perfect example of this. When I first learned that technique, matching and mirroring, and just tonality, I actually learned it when I was at a convention. This was years and years ago. And I was at this convention, and then I decided, convention had gone through the week, and then there was post-convention classes that were on Saturday and Sunday. And after attending some of the classes, there was a couple of the presenters I thought, I really want to attend their post-convention classes because I wanted to learn even more. So I thought, ooh, I want to stay, over on Saturday and Sunday, but my reservations only went through Friday. So I went up to the front desk to see if I could extend my reservation. And just as I'm going up to the front desk, there was somebody already there at the front desk talking to the person at the hotel. And so I stood there and waited, and as I was waiting, I could listen to this person. And they were trying to do the exact same thing I wanted to do. They were trying to stay over Friday night and Saturday night. And they were talking to the hotel person. The hotel person was busy explaining to them how they couldn't do that because they were fully booked. Other conventions were coming in, and there was just no way. The hotel was already completely booked. This person tried using reasoning, persuasion, I was standing there a good 10 minutes as the person pleaded, begged, did everything but get down on their knees to try and convince this hotel person to extend their reservation. Nope, couldn't do it. They finally said, try this hotel, this hotel, but we can't do it. So I'm standing there, and finally that person gives up and walks away. And now, what am I thinking? Gee, what's the chances I'm going to be able to extend my reservation? This person I just listened to for 10 minutes do everything, and they couldn't. But I thought, well, I've just taken this class. What the heck? And while I was listening, I listened to that person on the other side of the counter's tonality and their tempo and their voice inflection and stuff like that. So when I got up to the counter, they said, may I help you? Or whatever they said, and I matched that back to them. And obviously did it perfectly, because the person on the other side of the counter, their face flushed. And they went and paused, and as I kind of explained what I wanted to do. And they went, just a minute. And they left. I'm thinking, whoa, what happened? They didn't tell me they didn't have any things. They didn't argue with me. They come back 5 minutes later and said, Mr. Ellsworth, I made arrangements. You can stay over in your room. I'm like, whoa, this stuff works. 2 days later, as I'm checking out of the hotel, same person was up to the front desk. I walk up with a couple of the people that were at the same conference, that I made friends with, and we're all checking out together. And this reception person at the front desk goes, "Oh, Mr. Ellsworth." Started calling me by name, and turns to the other people and go, "Oh, do you guys know Mr. Ellsworth? He's such a nice guy." And I'm like, whoa, this person's like my long lost friend. And I've only talked to him once. That's the power of rapport when you can match and mirror like this. Okay? This particular class, we're just going to touch on that because that's not really the purpose of this class. I'm going to teach you an even more powerful technique for rapport. Matching and mirroring is a good technique. It's a phenomenal technique for getting rapport. We're going to teach you even more subtle variations of that. In one of the advanced classes, I actually teach an even more advanced technique that we call an unconscious handshake, which is in the first 1 second that you meet somebody, they do something specifically. And if you can match and mirror that, if you can feed that back to them, in that second, you're going to have instant rapport. The person's going to literally go, "Ooh, you're like my long-lost cousin."